I think they're saying, you know what? We're taking over the PlayStation, and we might even take over Switch. And you guys just have to deal with it, right? So the games you're going to buy on your PlayStation are Xbox games. You're Xbox gamers. That PlayStation is an Xbox. Have fun with that. You can pound your chest all day by saying, I paid $70. Good for you. Good for you. I'll just play in my nice little, $120 a year Game Pass Ultimate. I'm happy to pay the $120 and get all those games. You want to pay more? I'm happy you want to pay more. That's great. More games for me. You pay, I play. I love it. This is great. And I think that's what Xbox's strategy is. Everybody's dooming and glooming. We have no more exclusives. No. You don't understand. They're going to take over everybody else's platform.
Flashback.
What are your thoughts on this, man?
This is Xbox, right? Like, good. And then they walk into the rake and hit themselves on the head. It's over and over again.
Yep.
And frankly, I'm sick of it. Like, it's always self-inflicted. There's no reason for this. There's just no reason. This isn't Sony needing PlayStation to make money for them. It's Microsoft. They've got more money than God. They really do not need to do anything here. They just bought ABK. They're going to make billions in profit every quarter. Why do they need to do this? If you want exposure, you're already on the biggest platform, Windows, which has billions of players. There's just no reason for this.
Yep.
There's just none.
Yeah.
So what is the point? So now I hear it's on Nintendo, then suddenly it'll be, it's on PlayStation 2. Because this is what they do. And I'm just sick of it. I don't even want to hear this. Like, if Phil is listening, just stop. Enough. We went through the worst generation with Xbox One, stayed loyal to your platform. This is our freaking generation.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the Salty Batch files, and boy, oh boy, do we have some more. I've been sitting on these for a little bit, but I don't want any of these great receipts and karma collected pieces to go into the wayside. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to the content, the meat of the matter, get right to the salt here, and let's do our first example here. We're going to harken back to the Black Ops, the Call of Duty recent days of old that they thought was going to be the needle mover, the pushing of the envelope, if you will, in regards to Game Pass subscriptions and so on and so forth. But let's use the first example. Gaz, once again, foot and mouth. He's been wrong multiple times. But hey, who are we to judge, right? Here we have his example here. Are we still concerned for Call of Duty and what Game Pass is doing to it? The quality... the quality increased with the campaign, and multiplayer loads are loving. It's selling loads, it has massive player counts, so there we go again, MAUs, player count, stuff like that, trying to make it seem good because Cammy did report on this anyways. Peaks at 306,000 or more concurrent players on Steam for its launch weekend. That's just Steam for then, and obviously in other platforms it'd be higher. So not necessarily a bad thing, but let's continue. Is there more context to this overall franchise right now that it's been under Microsoft and now Game Pass? Let's take a quick look here. Well, Charlie Intel, which is a prime resource for reporting out on this stuff for Call of Duty and other items as well, but a lot of Call of Duty stuff, right? So Izzy goes on, Activision has been unable to keep players engaged in Call of Duty this year, with Black Ops 6 post-launch seeing a decline in players. Call of Duty March 2025, 20.6 million. Call of Duty in March of 2023, 20.8 million. Call of Duty in 2022, 22.4 million players. So, just a little bit of additional context to how great Call of Duty's doing according to Gaz, and him just latching on without doing any further diving research before, again, putting his foot in his mouth, right? Which is what he loves to do, and tries to take a W from that, but he does not end up taking a W from that because it's having issues retaining the player base. And it is just Call of Duty fatigue as well, guys. When you're putting the same thing out year after year after year, and let's even take, for example, I know it's not a live service game or anything in that same genre. However, let's take something that's beloved, like, let's say, even, we'll do, I was going to use Ultimate Alliance, that series, right? 1, 2, and 3. If there was an entry every year, you're going to get fatigue. You could even get a new GTA every single year. You're eventually going to see fatigue, right? But when you space stuff out, put more quality into stuff, that's when you're going to get more from that product. That's just how that works. So again, we're trying to latch on like Game Pass isn't bad, guys. Moral of the story here. Game Pass isn't bad, guys. Don't worry. And Call of Duty is doing the best it's ever done. It's doing great. It's doing phenomenal. It's doing the best I've ever recall, right? It's not the case. You love to see it. You love when the egg's on the face. I do. I know you guys do too, but that's why we're here. So let's go over to the next thing. I just want to share this in tangent with everything here and cohesion with everything here. But this is just a quick article from Michael Beckwith from Metro, right? He states, developers ask why they should, quote, bother making Xbox games anymore. I just wanted to share that across recently because this was an article posted, as you can see, back in May here. Not that long ago, of course. But it just goes to show, yeah, they're going to pick and choose what's more lucrative for them, whether it's being multi-platform. Is it worth the effort to port or put games on the Xbox console if they don't have some sort of a lucrative deal that makes sense for them within Game Pass? Because if it's not in Game Pass, they put in those resources, you put in those efforts, and you put in that time, money, etc., to the Game Pass or Xbox ecosystem, you're not getting that return. Is it worth it? Is it worth just taking a chance out there? They're going to be a little more wary about putting games over there. Now, the more that Microsoft has been continuing to be more of a third-party publisher, you know, they may just throw it out there because they're tying their ecosystem where everything's everywhere anyways, right? No red line, hashtag the whole slate, all that good stuff, right? But just a quick pause moment that in addition to that Call of Duty section there, not pushing the needle like it needed to, we have further evidence as we do day after day, week after week, month after month, that Xbox and Microsoft is in a precarious position to just pull the whole Band-Aid off and just announce to everybody, look, we're just full-on third-party publisher. We're having third-party hardware that's coming out, right? We had the recent handheld fiasco that people thought that was a W and that was what you wanted, even though you can get a ROG Ally right now and do the same exact stuff that you can with this new third-party partnered Asus ROG Ally with partnering with Xbox, right? With that Xbox button and cohesion buttons as well. But you love to see this weird kind of narrative shift because it's just so bizarre to me. Anything for the corporate bootlicking there, that's what's odd. When you got these other content creators talking about corporate bootlicking, this is that to the utmost degree. The definition is right there, and you see it as plain as day. I mean, they take whatever, however, whenever, try to spin it and defend it and all this nonsense. But anyways, let's go over to our next example here. Now, Nico. This is the problem we're having, buddy. This is the problem we're having here, right? So he states, and another free of charge 3-month subscription for Game Pass Ultimate using the Microsoft Rewards loyalty program, fire emoji. Game Pass literally pays itself. Depending on how you're specifying that, we'll take a quick pause. Depending how you're specifying that, it doesn't pay for itself. You guys are paying for it in one way or the other, so that's not entirely true. More misinformation, Nico. And then, of course, he states on here, I'm using this service for free for years. Okay? I'm using it for free until June 2027, green heart emoji, showing his example down below. So, guys, Nico, if you happen to be watching this one as well, I know you reached out to my last one. But if you reach out to me on this one or you happen to see this one as well, and those that do follow Nico, you got to take a step back. This does harm the brand. I know you're thinking, no, it doesn't, because advertisements, the rewards program does pay for itself in a way, right? And that's how they're able to gift you these points, and you can pay for Game Pass or what other items you want to that is available. However, I promise you, you actually paying out of your pocket for Game Pass or you actually buying the games that you want to play, at the forefront of everything, you really enjoy this brand. You want this brand to succeed. You doing stuff like this, even though there's a rewards program in place that does help, it's a band-aid is all it is. You're not going to get the extra mileage you would if you were to go ahead and purchase and subscribe to Game Pass on a monthly basis, yearly basis, whatever the case is, or if you ended up buying those games directed towards the Xbox ecosystem, whether digital or physical. This is not a good look. You should not go this direction. You should not be touting that this is a free program. Everybody do this. Go and do it this way. Put in your time for the surveys, etc., etc. That's not going to work out for you in the long run. This is the exact problem, as I trip over my tongue here, this is the exact problem that you've had with this brand for multiple years, and eventually it starts to catch up. Do we see what we're doing here? Do not do this. Do not listen to Nico when he's telling you to do the rewards if you want the brand to succeed or try to get any semblance of more legs, more mileage, if you will, from hardware and games and any semblance of exclusivity whatsoever, timed, first party, whatever the case is. The quicker you do stuff like this or you chintz out on these areas, the sooner that Microsoft is going to just pull that band-aid off and just be full third party. I think it's happening anyway, so, you know, you do what you will, but this was just something to preface, like, this is what's been going on for years and years. This is what I'm trying to space out and talk about and being like, guys, this was not the way, like the Mandalorian said, instead of this is the way, this is not the way. Not a good look. Not a good look. Let's be careful. If you have a lot of followers like Nico, and Nico, you have a lot of followers, you could have done some good. You could have done some good for the brand, but you haven't. Take a step back. Realize what would help the brand, and we may not have been in this situation, but to each their own, buddy. Enjoy. All right, let's go over to Mr. Paul Tassi for our next example here. Paul Tassi stating, after 15 years of doing this, I still can't understand console warring. It's just so bizarre. It's like rooting for sports teams and yet somehow way more vicious and personal and far more pointless. But it will never end, it seems. So Oliver here, console warring is really a big mystery. And he's showing some articles from Forbes. Just a couple examples, mind you. There's pages and pages of examples of articles here, but as you could see here, some of this is going to be cut off for you, but Xbox is about to leave PlayStation in Starfield's glittering space dust, and another one, Xbox Series X, is about to leave the PS5 in the dust. Real similar and on, but they continue to do console warring, pushing narratives, because why? That's where you get the clicks, that's where you get the engagement and stuff like that. If you're all like, kumbaya, we're all sitting here under rainbows, sunshine, butterflies, that's not going to sell for engagement. That's not going to get you the clicks that you need, especially in that ecosystem, especially in that type of community. It's just not going to happen. So him stating, I don't know why, and he's part of this issue, and we'll have to save something for later, but he does get kind of cooked as well, because he thought Helldivers, just a side note, Helldivers 2 or Helldivers IP was not Sony owned, so a lot of folks in the industry and fans alike have been cooking him under the sun there. You would think for an acclaimed journalist that you would do your research like that, right? And understand before you just nonchalantly throw something out there. Misinformation is just crazy, guys. I do my best to make sure I don't spread that. If I'm not sure or not aware of something, I will say grain of salt, rumor, I don't know, but whatever the case is, but I'm not going to sit there and say something's 100% truth or factual unless I know it factually is. And I'm not even a journalist. I'm just here trying to be as honest with you guys. I think you guys want the truth. That's why we're here, but you love to see it. They just have no self-awareness, right? These fanboys, even these journalist fanboys, have no self-awareness. Pretty crazy. I don't know. But let's keep going here. We got Bitch of Truth back. Yes, the 4-2 dude is back, of course. Who knows what he's doing to try and stay fit, jump around, all that stuff. But dear Sony, I don't know what's going on over at PlayStation, but just go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off. I promise you that it won't hurt as bad as you think. You'll become numb to it, and then the real growth starts. Just look at how successful Xbox's games are over there with the smiley face. I'm surprised he didn't do a bunch of 100 emoticons or fire emoticons, stuff like that over and over. He's hurt. You know they're hurt over there because they became numb to the sensation of losing their first-party Xbox games over to PlayStation. So he's wanting PlayStation to do the same, but they just don't understand. Or maybe he does, and he's just grifting and doing stuff for the engagement, of course, but they just don't understand the differences here, right? They don't understand that PlayStation is not in the same situation as Microsoft has put themselves in. And again, we can harken back to the previous example from Nico himself. They're using the rewards program, they're doing this, they're doing anything to just do enough to play what they want without actually supporting that ecosystem appropriately. And again, Microsoft and corporate figureheads and stuff are also to blame, I've always said that. But in addition to that, the fans, they just don't realize, they're not aware. And so we have the hurt, the utmost hurt from Bitch of Truth here, stating that they become numb to it, like he has. He's had to become numb to it. He's had to accept the fact that Microsoft is full on third party. Nothing's off the table. Everything's coming. The latest rumor, they found files and data leaks that Halo, the Master Chief Collection, is coming over to PlayStation, and it may not be necessarily the Master Chief Collection. It may be a full remake of the first game or whatever the case is, but still, regardless, Halo is in one way, shape, or form coming over to PlayStation, something that only some fanboys would have dreamed of doing on the PlayStation side, and the Xbox fanboys dreamed of it never happening, but here we are, meeting in the middle. It's happening, for better or worse, right? But you gotta love it, just hiding that pain. PlayStation, just wave the flag as well. Do it as well, because man, I'm hurting over here. We are super numb to it at this point, but we're still hurt. Just do this too, throw us a bone. Sorry, not happening anytime soon at least, guys, but maybe one day, right? Let's keep going here. This is a good one here. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So we have, oh no, it's Alex here. This is the greatest part, right? Mr. PC elitist, Xbox refugee, grifter galore. Here he is. My guess concerning Doom the Dark Ages low Steam player counts is due to the requirement of needing a ray tracing capable GPU, shutting out a major portion of PC users from Mo Reflections, and the current market being almost impossible to upgrade is a recipe for disaster. Jez actually follows up here and states, just upgrade, bro. Why does Jez say that? Because that's what Alex states all the time. That's what a lot of the PC elitists state all the time. Just upgrade, it's not that big a deal, you're there. And it's true, that's what PC elitists tout, right? You sit there, you have a rig, you want this beefy, powerful rig that can do everything better than the Xbox Series X, that can do everything better than the PS5 base model, the Pro model. You can do it fairly cheap even. I mean, Destin himself has come out multiple times and been like, guys, just get a PC. It's easy, you can do this around $800, $900. That's not the case. You're going to have to pay big money to get the most out of these games, and yes, with Doom the Dark Ages, it is requiring a lot of GPU-intensive stuff. Ray tracing does pull a lot of power. It does require a lot of guts and hardware in order to pull that off. But again, you signed up for it. You want to be PC elitist. The moniker is you sit there and you can afford the PC ecosystem. You can afford to upgrade. You can afford to play all these games at 120 to 240 FPS. You can play it with max ray tracing, shadows, yada yada. That's what you guys all tout, but here we have, it's not a great idea. It's not smart to shut out all these PC users. Wait a minute, Alex. I thought, and yes, Astro's going to clip this, but I thought most PC players were going to go ahead and have the capable rigs to do all this stuff. I mean, there shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. There's all these things that you can sit there and tweak for hours before you even fire up the game, but that's okay. But now we're seeing that reality, that illusion crumble a little bit, really. And a lot of folks actually don't have those high-end PC rigs like they were thinking. So as time goes on and on and on, and the next consoles come out, they're going to be closer and closer to PCs, and still an easier method of plug and play, and still getting the most out of those systems. But again, let these false elitists here go ahead and tell you that PC is the way to go for everybody. Man, if it's your cup of tea, you got the money, and you want to tweak and do all that stuff, by all means, go do that. But if not, you got some reality setting in here, because these games that are going to continue to come out are also going to be really GPU intensive and really heavy in that regard. So just an FYI, but again, we got the talking head and grifter once again glazing it over, being a hypocrite once again. But let's keep going here. Now, Jay Fonzarelli, you heard it here first, Fonz. Stellar Blade states really only sold 1 million copies. With the way Twitter was acting up over it, I thought for sure it would have sold more. These third-party exclusive deals just aren't doing so well. Again, Salt, Copium, stuff like that, damage control, you name it. And with that little meme down there with that GIF, right? Let's fast forward a little bit here, and then we're going to talk about that. But here we have Stellar Blade's unequivocal commercial success globally. Unequivocal is not just a word you throw about every article that you see out there. Numerous awards won as global AAA IP, right? Shows all the awards from Game of the Year stuff, from the Game Awards 2024, from all sorts of stuff, PlayStation's blog, yada yada, BAFTA, AIPT, DICE, right? All that stuff there. It is a success. Unfortunately for Fonz, it is a success. It may not have sold a crap ton. It sold very well. It's a brand new... Let's take a step back here, guys. These guys are a newish studio, right? These guys have a brand new IP. Brand new IP. That's number 2. In addition to a third option here, it was only available timed exclusive on PlayStation. Okay? PlayStation at the time of the release of Stellar Blade still didn't even have as many users as the PS4 still. There's still more PS4 users. This was a PS5 only game. The ecosystem was limited. Brand new IP. How many brand new IPs with a limited ecosystem sell and commercially do that well? It's not that many. This is not just like, you know how many games release on the weekly, guys, that we just don't even know about? Right? Here we have a brand new IP, which is difficult enough to get off the ground, get commercial success. It just happens. So, aside from that, we have great sales from this, commercial success. It's now over to PC. The PC community is loving it. They're obviously doing some crazy mods, as you all are probably aware of. But that being said, PC community also loving it, doing very well. This game's beloved. It's already greenlit for a sequel. The DLC was growing too big and out of hand, so they're like, you know what, let's just save this, put this into a sequel. Very successful. Unfortunately for Jay, again, that Salt and Copium, like I just stated, really burns and hurts deep down inside, but they got to sit there and defend their brand, their ecosystem any way, shape, or form that they can. Pretty pathetic, pretty sad, but that being said, let's wrap up the video here so we don't take any more of your time. I appreciate you sticking around for the entirety of the video if you did. If you haven't already, definitely leave a like, comment down below. Both those things do help out the algorithm, and guys, at the time of this recording, we're getting so close to that 3,500 subscriber goal. We're basically 100 or so subs away. So thank you guys so much. You're fantastic, phenomenal. And this is all due to not grifting, just stating the truth. There's nothing that I'm lying about in these videos. So if you like the truth, you want to stick around, that's what we're here for. I appreciate the support. That being said, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. And of course, at the end of the day, just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.